Welcome back. So I'm still in the middle of cleanup and getting all stuff sorted and figuring out how the heck I'm gonna get my other golem back, because this one is not operational. So I accidentally left my companions, Bardo, Ubu and Chewy, over here at the It Freehold, and then I thought I told them to stay like around here. But then I teleported back here. I didn't see Chewy, so I was a bit concerned because maybe I lost Chewy somewhere else, so I would not know where or how to get her anymore. But then I found her, standing right next to this bloody human corpse. I have no idea what happened here, but I guess Chewy keeps more secrets. Anyways, I'm in the middle of cleanup still. And I'll let you know when I find more stuff. And I need Sunslag probably in order to rebuild or recall my previous other golem. Probably. I don't know if I could get both golems back if one of them was away, but this one here is not the unpiloted Snapjaw golem. So chances are I can only pilot the other one that is unpiloted specifically, and this one is just an extra. I'm really not sure. Anyways, back to cleanup. Alrighty, quick update. At this point I'm just looking for the Sunslag, and I've gone over to the Moonstair, where the Santalalot is selling us things, and I just realized Santalalot here has a Cetachrome Loon for sale. Quark gluon plasma rapidly cooled and was extinguished on the void peaks of the early universe, except where the globules got trapped in a 6D kinks of spacetime. There they glided in the slipstream for billions of years until beings discovered them, built machines to extract and cool them, and reheated them in their stellar furnaces. Anyways, this is just one step above a flawless crystal armor, and I would like to buy that, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. You might be able to tell I've been shopping quite a lot here. Again, now that we have basically most of the basic, well, main quests done, I am absolutely taking advantage of all of the duplicates. So that's kind of what's going on here. Anyways, pour this into another container. I need like 5 or 6 drams of cloning draft in order to pay for this, because that's super expensive. Let's see, so the Chrome Loon, almost enough. Well, I say almost, but I have a lot of Urberries to even up the traders. Basically, the Urberries are my method of just evening up trades. Anyways, this is a nice find, because we can now get rid of our Willoway Flawless Crystal Shardmail, which has 8 defense, -3 evasion, and 9 resistances across the board, with the Cetachrome Loon, which now gives us 2 more resistance across the board. It is much more heavy, but we can make it willowy again. That shouldn't be a problem, if it's even necessary, let's put it this way. Or we could also do other things. And it is in fact worth noting that at this point I have actually positive dodge value, so there is a reasonable chance that what I should do is I should invest into mixing these flexi-weaved so the negative dodge value gets removed and we actually get positive dodge value out of these sometime. Also, I just realized this provides computing power on the local lattice, which means stuff that is improved through computing power, which I'm not sure if any of these are. Anyways, this would provide additional stuff. I have no idea how much like 30 is. Like, what does it mean? No clue. Anyways, just wanted to point that out real quick. I will probably just duplicate another full 64 drams of cloning draft for more shopping in the future. But upgraded armor, I might just go ahead and modify and tinker it. I imagine at this point you've seen kind of on how it works. We just mind control Ooh and give him all sorts of bits and pieces and baubles, and then we get that. That's all. Gonna continue just looking for the Sunslag. Alrighty, I figured I might as well take you on a shopping tour. So, I just finished my round, so what I'm doing in order to spend time in the overworld, I'm actually just heading to the overworld from Joppa, all the way in the southwest over here, and just go over here and north. No, I'm not exploring the ruins, because I could get attacked by random invaders at any moment, spend a little bit more time, head over to the Stilt Grounds, go southeast, and then I'm checking the Ichor merchants for Sunslag that I'm looking for. These two have... oh, they do restock their inventory. Up until now, these two outside actually hadn't restocked their inventory. Yes, I duplicated the Ichor merchants, hoping for the Sunslag. There's more warm static. I've read up as to what it does. Apparently it scrambles your mutation and skills and just randomizes them, which I guess is good if you don't like your mutations. It also seems to add skill points or mutation points while you do that at the same time, so maybe that's helpful, I guess. Anyways, I don't currently want to do that. So there is nothing here. Then I run over and try to find a Dromat merchant that absolutely loves to just run away from me. Over somewhere on the Stilt Grounds, so I just check the points of interest on each one of these map screens. Go to the northwest. Are you here? No. West? No. Oh, wait, there you are. Sometimes I also check the bookkeepers, but I think at this point I have enough books that I'm not too worried about just checking them each time. And sometimes this guy has interesting stuff. What the heck is that? Kaleidocera muffs. Serrate pendulate on the muffs-like crystal mold on a tree ring. The mere rich hues in cerulean, ruby, star, orchid and void, together they shine to resplendent effect. +1 ego, has a 2% chance to reflect light-based attacks. Muffs. Muffs sound like they would be a headgear item. 20 resistance across the board though? Never seen this before, that's new. So, when I see something interesting I would like to buy, I pour 1 dram of the cloning draft into another container, throw it with the trader again, and then sell cloning draft. I need to duplicate it again sometime, buy this thing, and I'm just curious. It says muffs. I assume that's a headgear item, you know, like earmuffs, but I'm not sure. Also, the trader... So I usually just buy additional urberries if the money difference is too great and I would otherwise get overweight. Because urberries are just a nice evening out tool. They don't weigh much and are worth quite a bit by themselves. On top of that, I like to have a lot of them anyways, because you can eat them for 100 health each. So let's take a quick look. Kaleidocera muffs. Equip auto. Oh, it's gloves. They have 3 less defense, but 1 evasion. Much better resistances. I guess this is kind of the part where I'm not sure what a good armor value is to aim for. Like, the resistances seem fantastic right now, but also, do I really need those? I think, at least for my character, I'm gonna stick to the extra physical defense, but Kaleidocera, these are also the slugs that are over in it freehold, so I assume you can randomly get these pieces when you butcher them, if you happen to kill someone in the wild, or somewhere else for that matter. So that's very interesting. I might give these to one of my Snapchat buddies, or Chewy. Anyways, that is this over here. Then I just press the A button to bring up my skills menu, W for recoil, and then I click on, in this case, Moonstair Recoiler. Then I press the A button to activate. You're transported back to the Moonstair, where basically the chimes are here. Then I press backspace in order to bring up the points of interest. Santalalots, and Santalalots might have interesting stuff here. Let's see whether you have interesting stuff. Actually, this is very interesting. Dysfunctional AI mushrooms. I always pick up these bits here that have like 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8 really seem to be the more rare ones. So I just tend to buy them whenever I have an opportunity. They are worth about an urberry each, so just gonna trade in some urberries for that. Actually, yeah, that's fine. Then we once again A W head over to Kyakukya. I stopped checking the Dromet up there because it's relatively low level equipment. I might actually not even go to Kyakukya anymore. You'll hear sometimes as useful stuff, but for the most part it is relatively low level as well compared to the other traders, and that's okay. Then AW, we head over to it freehold, activate, check down in this pit right here, or whatever you want to call it. Here, Bep is the guy. I would love to have something that gives me... I forgot what it was that I wanted. Anyways, it doesn't matter too much. I will remember when I see it. Metamorphic Power Core, I would love to have these as well. 8 bits. And trade over. Then we head over to these stairs over here to the east. This is where Krka and Tilly are. Krka doesn't usually have anything useful, to be honest. Like, I could buy salve injectors, but I'm usually just not worrying about it. Zetachrome Apex, the heck is that? 4 defense helmet with 6 resistance across the board. Is that better than... That must be the, basically... Zeta... Oh, that's a helmet. That's basically just strictly better than the other types of helmets that we have. Probably a higher tier thing. That's the first time I'm seeing one of these. Okay. I will need 2 drams of cloning draft to pay for that approximately. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Or into another container. Here, 2. Hi Tilly, that's a very fascinating equipment piece. I'd like to also buy the detuned antimatter micro reactors. Let's see, that's much too much. Evening it up with these, this looks actually pretty good. I'm gonna be overburdened when I buy this, apparently. So... I don't know how to solve this right now. Actually, I can buy some silver nuggets or rough agate even. You'll have to pony up 52 grams of water. Sure. Alrighty. We now have a Zetachrome helmet. I might want to duplicate these if I don't get to buy more of them. These I will probably just keep for my buddies. Then, next AW, we head over to Gridgate. Activate it. I put any of the interesting spoils of my buying over into this chest. The Collider Ceramaf, Zetachrome Apex, which by the way, I've made multiple rounds now where I didn't buy anything. So it's kind of curious that this happened to be interesting. I also found a data disk for a tank cube. We'll get to what that is once I am back, well, done with the shopping stuff. I have a bunch of books. Put all the tinkering bits and pieces in here as well, so our buddy can pick it up. And that's largely everything I'm looking for anyways. So there's 5 polygel in here. There's 1 more in here as well. I'm actually gonna grab one of them. And there should also be a full, canteen of cloning draft, because I will need to trade again. So, when I run out of, well, money, or cloning draft, I guess, use the metamorphic polygel on the 64 drams of cloning draft, and boom, we have a full canteen again of cloning draft for just the price of 1 metamorphic polygel, which, to be fair, is pricey technically by itself, but considering this, even a singular dram of cloning draft is way more worthwhile, it's not that bad anyways. So, then we are looking for Jacobo and Sparafusal in Gridgate. These are the ones that trade in these data disks. Still hoping to find the modifier I'm looking for. I think, actually, radio power is what I was looking for. Sparafusal. Character just eventually navigates over to him. In the most roundabout way possible, it feels like sometimes. Electrified, Phase Conjugate, Lane and Puppeteers. Don't really need those. Anyways, one thing I want to do real quick while we're here, and while I'm also recording for people to see, is I bought 2 radio-powered cells. Actually 3. 2 radio-powered chem cells and a radio-powered solar cell, which is kind of funny. Radio-powered solar cell. It's a solar cell. It recharges in daylight, and also radio-powered. It recharges via whatever radio waves there are in the world of CUD. Anyways, I want to disassemble these for the slight chance of learning the mod. Because I'm still looking for that mod. I still haven't found it. But one thing I wanted to do real quick, just grab this random battery. Don't mind if I do. And I wanted to introduce to you the 3D cobblers as an item. These are boots. And if we put their cell into them and equip them. So, we now have gained the ability to deactivate the boots because... Where is it? Because these boots you don't actually usually want to have active. But what the boots do is when you walk, the 3D cobblers make walls where you walk. So we just kind of made a bit of a sandstone square with the 3D cobblers. So this is the entire purpose as to what these things do. I'm gonna replace the cell and put a solar cell in there. Then I'm also gonna unequip them, but basically, if I ever need to wall off an enemy, like the crazy super strong carrots, this is going to be very helpful. Then we dominate creature. Ooh, let's see. Let's disassemble these and hope that we get the radio-powered modification. Disassemble. Receive the tinkering bits. Nope. Disassemble. Receive the tinkering bits and disassemble. I think it... Wasn't it like a 1 in 8 chance? I forget what the exact probability was, but unfortunately it didn't really get that. So, continuing on in my quest to find things. Anyways, after I get to Gridgate, I teleport over to Joppa. Activate. Head over to Archive. Backspace A is always Archive. Talk to him. Spite, counterweighted. We already know this recipe. And that's an entire round of what I'm doing here. So I'm just gonna continue making circles. Honestly, I feel like, considering the danger of what I'm probably going to be approaching, powering up by getting these high-end equipment pieces for my entire party is not actually even that unreasonable. And again, especially since a large portion of Caves of CUD is just knowledge. The longer I survive, the more knowledge I can gather, and the more I will know what I need to be prepared for in the future. It is entirely possible that somebody who has a lot of experience in this game might require functionally no preparation in order to just tackle whatever endgame stuff there is, as long as they know how to deal with it. But that's kind of the catch, right? I don't know, so I'm just preparing as much as I can for any potential eventuality. Alrighty, back to the circles. Alright, actually, I think I forgot to visit Ezra in my tour, so basically, when I teleport over to Ezra, there's my band of friends over there just waiting patiently until I arrive. I head over here and talk with the clone of Sixru, see if he has anything, talk with the next clone of Sixru, see if he has anything of use, and then the next one, etc. And I basically just briefly skim through everything. Sometimes I might miss something, but I wouldn't know about it because I'm not recording that part. Anyways, it doesn't really matter too much, and I'm just looking through all of these, hoping to have something of note. Mostly metamorphic polygel, I guess, but sometimes they also could have like higher tier equipment, as we have seen before. Also on this cycle, just after I recorded this, by the way, I finally got the radio-powered item mod here, so I don't even need to go and check for these anymore. More precision nanon thingies. Like, they could be amazing, I guess, theoretically, but we have a bunch, and if I need more, I can always duplicate them if necessary, although... Well... it doesn't matter too much. Anyways, when I'm done here... Oh, metamorphic polygel, give me a moment. There we go. Traded over a bunch. Sometimes I see these weird artifacts, think briefly about maybe I should buy them to identify them, but then I decide otherwise. Except for the 3D couplers, for some reason I bought these because they were over 1,000 coins, so I was curious what that would be about. Right, and then I accidentally busted open this wall over here, so I can now just casually walk over to Ilahai's workshop and check for data disks here. Whoops. Anyways, back to buying stuff. There it is, we got the Sunslag. Ichor Merchant number many. Finally had it. By the way, don't accidentally open up this menu and press A to abandon character. Because that's what happened to me just earlier. I pressed Alt F4 and it did not actually abandon the run. I still have my character, so I think we're fine. But there's not even a confirmation when you click on this option there for abandoned character. I hope nothing bad has happened. Now, it is worth noting, for purposes of making a video and getting B-roll footage when I eventually die, I have enabled the debug option to... where's it? Delete. Don't delete classic mode, saves on death. Basically, I'm using this for when I die, so I will be able to have some B-roll or just kind of show how it works in case I couldn't capture it properly. Like, for example, if I'm on these circles, I randomly get attacked and instantly killed. I want to be able to recreate that in some meaningful capacity so I can show it on video. Anyways, I finally found the Sunslag that we were looking for. And I actually don't know if you can put Sunslag into like a canteen or something like that, kind of like the cloning draft, in order to try and duplicate it, which I think is what I'm gonna be trying and doing. Oh, you also have Ramzo cloning draft, that's kind of funny. Anyways, we're gonna select this, give you the cloning draft here in exchange, and... there we go, that took me a while to finally get the Sunslag. Previously we've gotten one Sunslag, actually two Sunslag, and drank these immediately, because it gives us extra quickness, because I didn't really think about the part where I might need more. I just straight up forgot about the Golem potentially require more. Anyways, we're gonna go to Ezra real quick. Tell my buddies to come with me, so I don't somehow lose them, that would be really awkward. Then we head over to the grid gate. Activate. Then here, what I want to do is, first of all, I'm gonna grab the metamorphic polygel. All of them. Then I'm going to apply this to the Sunslag. To duplicate it, we now have another vial of Sunslag, because I want to go and just do the same thing I did for the cloning draft, just duplicate it, because why the heck not? And I would like to put this into the canteen, because some liquids like acid just go straight through basically destroy the container that they're contained in. And I don't know if that's gonna be true for the Sunslag. I have no idea. I just hope it doesn't explode in my face like the neutron flux does. So, pour into another container, into the canteen. 1 dram of it. Okay, this seems to be fine for now at least. Pour into another container. There we go, we have 2 drams of Sunslag. So now we just do the same duplication thing as we did previously with the cloning draft. We now have 4 Sunslag, or to another container in here. Now we duplicate this again. Just going to minimize a bunch of menus here that I don't need for a while. Right, apply this to the Sunslag. Ah, these menus are still open here. That's a bit awkward. Alright, for another container, we now have 8 Sunslag. And this is already enough for me to maximize the potential gain for quickness on my character. But, you know, we don't need to stop there. We might as well just give every character that we have currently in our team the same. So we now have 16, or into another container. We could also make the Sunslag our trading good instead of the cloning draft at this point, because I think it's about the same value. Although I don't know how accurate it is, it's just kind of my expectation. Alright. Or in another container. Well, I don't know if the containers are gonna break or not. Like, it's technically possible that they're still gonna eat through the container, and I'm gonna lose all of that Sunslag unless I put it into vials, but... well, I hope that doesn't happen. I don't know. Apply this to Sunslag. There we go. We now have 64 grams of Sunslag, which is an absurd amount. For this to another container, and we're gonna duplicate this one more time to have a full canteen worth of Sunslag that we can just put into the chest, mind control our buddies, and drink it with everybody. There we go. Which also uses up all my metamorphic polygel, which means I will need to do a bunch more runs if I want to get everybody the stuff. Things and stuff. Anyways, brain's not working properly, that's okay. Put these over here. And that's good enough for now. If I want to duplicate the arm knives, is what I'm trying to say. Oh, don't forget the data disk for radio powered. I keep the 3D cobblers on me. They are weighing 6 pounds, so not too terrible. I also found a bunch more Uber Nostrum injectors while I was just kind of shopping for other stuff, for what it's worth. Then I think that's largely everything. Let us start using up the Sunslag here. I'm gonna drink. Permanently increases quickness by 1. 1 quickness, again, is not a whole lot, but we can get up to a maximum of plus 10 by just continuously drinking this. Which, you know, seems pretty good for effectively having 10% more actions than any regular opponent has. So we are now up to 7, 8, 9, and 10. Oh, and apparently that's a Steam achievement. Consume 10 grams of Sunslag in a single playthrough. Unfortunately, you guys probably couldn't see that on your screen because the Steam overlay is not being captured. But, well, there we go. What are you doing here, Q-Girl? Just going out the outside, I guess. Okay, let us briefly go ahead and control U before I forget about it. Oh, right, you just leave pools of honey behind because it's overflowing from your beehive. That's so silly. No, that's maybe fine. Data disk for a time cube, we get this one, and we get the data disk for item mod for radio powered. Get all of the scrap that I have accumulated so far. Excellent. So, data disk. We have radio powered. We'll learn that. We can now finally make radio powered cells, which I will be wanting to do sooner rather than later. We can also learn how to make a time cube. I will want to make one of these too. I also found 4 of these metamorphic cores, which are 8 bits. They are pretty expensive to buy, but again, once you reach the critical mass of money, money is not really much of a concern anymore. That's just the nature of how it works. So, tools. No, it's not on the tools. Where is it? Trinkets? There we go. Time cube. Costs us 2 8-bits, 2 7-bits. That's super expensive, but I'm gonna make one. And let me tell you what this thing does, because in my previous playthrough, I made one, decided to immediately use it here in the grid gate, was a bit confused as to what it did, because it just kind of gave me a cryptic message, and I had no idea what the heck was going on. Then I eventually just kind of decided to move on, make a second one, and then just be on my merry way, do other stuff, and realized everything was just frozen for a while. So this gives you like a bunch of rounds, like 100 turns of free actions, where nothing else can take any actions. It's basically a literal time stop. It's absurdly powerful. And I don't want to use this unless absolutely necessary, because it is so expensive, but it is a good item to have, to say the very least, as you might expect. So this is something I absolutely would like to have. Then I did in fact also... where is it? Is it on the tools? No. Artifacts? There we go. Transkinetic cuffs. These basically allow you to invest battery charge into maintaining body temperature on... like a target body temperature on your character. So let's say if you're deep underground in Bethesda Susa, where everything is just stupidly cold, and you want your body temperature to be normal anyway, so you don't get frozen as easily, these things can help with that. That's what they are for. I made some in my previous playthrough, and then forgot what I do, so I decided to look it up again, what they do. Anyways, that's kind of that there, and we're gonna go back in the corner. Because I forgot to, of course, give the cells I would like to have radio powered. We're gonna make all of these nuclear cells antimatter cell radio powered if we can afford it. I hope we can, but I don't know. Then also, I want to tincture the Sadochrome Lune? Apparently, by the way, it's not Lama for the various items of psionic nature. It's lambent. It is an English word, so I did look that up too. Okay, you can also have the crystal shard mail. If you want to have that, I take the time cube. Thank you very much. Then we quicken. Nominate creature. Alright, so let's briefly check what we can do. You can have this thing back. Modern tinkering, what can we do? Willowy for it to not be as heavy. It does cost an 8-bit if we want to do that, which is not a bad idea, honestly. Sturdy, nulling, no. Flexi-weaved, so it reduces... oh, by 4. I didn't even realize flexi-weaved is... the dodge value negative is reduced by 4, so I only need to single flexi-weave my items. I didn't realize that. And honestly, the only thing I care about is willowy, so it's not as heavy. So I'm gonna do that. It's cost me an 8-bit, but I'm willing to invest that. Now it weighs a third, I think it is, which is honestly pretty solid in my book. And then we try to tincture these. Where's mod with tinkering? There we go. Radio powered. It costs us 7 bits. But again, that is something I'm willing to invest. So we're gonna do this. Mod with tinkering. Radio powered. So nuclear cells are basically just supercharged or super powered solar cells. Much more charged individually, and radio powered is better for recharging than sun, if you... well, it works all the time rather than only half the days and on the surface. Here's another 7-bit for this one. Oops, I didn't mean to do this. I wonder, I bet the antimatter cell requires an 8-bit to tinker with. It does. Am I willing to invest that? Sure. Maybe. No, well, yeah, okay, let's do it. I am so torn on this issue. Radio powered, and this one here as well. Mod of tinkering, radio powered. Could also make them high capacity theoretically, but I don't think that's worth it when the objective is to just have these things be recharging themselves continuously. Alright, thank you so much for your service. Appreciate that a lot. And give me my Zedakron Lune back, please. Sweet. Okay, that was good progress. This now here gives me extra defenses. We have a time cube to work with. We have a bunch of Sunslag to work with. And here, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna replace this cell for a radio-powered antimatter cell, because this thing seems to use a lot of charges. And the less I have to replace the batteries all the time, the better it is going to be. I'm also going to replace this here with a radio-powered nuclear cell as well, so I don't have to deactivate this anymore. It can be basically active more or less anytime now. In here, solar cells just don't have much charge, so I'm also putting in one of these, so I can always freeze enemies whenever I need to. And this one here I hardly ever use. I don't know how much energy usage it has, but probably a lot, I guess. Anyways. So, I have never tried to recall the Golem. So, let's go ahead and do that real quick. Well, I'll say real quick, but I don't know actually how long it's gonna take. We have the Sunslag, theoretically. The container is still in perfect shape. Let me actually just wait 20 rounds and check the container again. Okay, still in perfect shape. I was just worried that it might just eat through the container, but it appears to be fine. Okay, so we teleport over A, W to Ezra. Activate. Oh, replace cell. Activate. Right, then we head over to the east from Ezra. If you remember, the Ezra is actually kind of on the west side area. Oh, I'm famished. Well, let's go and eat some food. Just a random meal, doesn't matter. Here, if you remember, we have the Tinker Bears setting up camp in order to, well, prepare for the ascent. And down here, south, is this weird contraption. This is the reshaping pad and reshaping nook. This is what we were told by our Tinker friends and Mushroom, that this is what I think we need to use in order to recall Golem. Recall Golem. Destroy Snapshot Golem. 1 gram of Sunslag to reshape. Okay. By the way, it's kind of concerning that the game didn't inform me that the Snapshot Golem was destroyed. Anyways, welcome back. The Snapshot Golem heals for 264 hit points. And let us see if we can repair the other one too. Repair Golem. Clay stuff is reprinted across the fissures and scars of the Snapshot Golem. Oh, it just repaired that guy. You don't need to repair too. Let's actually have... This one is... This is the unpiloted one. Let me have this guy move here. I want to see if he can... There we go. Repair. Okay. Does that mean you are functional? Let's enter... This golem. He's still burning in here. Still a bunch of stuff destroyed. Let's see if this one works. Sit. Okay. So it was actually sufficiently destroyed that it didn't work anymore, but we just repaired it. This didn't cause Sunslag, apparently. Alrighty. So, what I wanted to show you guys is basically, we are now the Snapshot Golem. We have 327 HP thanks to my own Embolden buff. And thanks to being a Snapshot, we can smell creatures around us, which is quite helpful. The space-time vortex is unfortunately not going to be terribly useful. We have Hobble as an active ability, which allows us to slow down opponents. We are also gigantic, which means we can only equip gigantic items. And here in the skills, we will be able to upgrade our skills, etc. We are level 50. This is 11 levels higher than my character is, so in order to gain any skills to, well, do more stuff, so to speak, it's gonna require a lot. We do have naturally 16 armor and 11 dodge value, which is, you know, decent. But it would be great if we had more equipment that we could equip these guys with. But once again, we only have 1,380 pounds of carrying space, which initially might seem like a decent amount to carry around stuff, but I think gigantic items weigh like 5 or 10 times more than the normal ones, so this is used up very, very fast here. So, yeah. Anyways, we do have across the board really strong stacks, especially 46 strength is just absolutely crazy. And I believe the hands here are considered metachrome points, which is a short blade weapon. So it effectively means... Well, you attacking with your face first. Fangs? Oh! Wait, that's interesting. I didn't even think about that. But because it's a snapshot, it of course has a face bite attack. Plus 10 to hit. These have plus 3 damage. Huh. Anyways, that's actually 3 weapons. A multi-attack here would be pretty good to have as well. But, well, we need to eventually get there. But I can now pilot this thing. I have no idea what happens if the creature gets killed that I'm piloting. Like, I don't know what will happen there. So that's a thing. We can eject, which literally allows us to exit the pilot seat and jump around on the area here, and that's everything. So we go back outside the golem and we're back around here. So this one here we just reshaped, and what? Oh, hold up. Abilities to use. Okay, you're forbidden to use the space-time vortex. Good. I don't want you to use this. Okay, so we know now how to get the stuff back. I believe, aside from that, I think these golems largely function the same as regular companions, aside from this guy here being just half as fast compared to this guy, but... Oh no, no, both are unpiloted. Okay, so it must have been a bug that one of them happened to be, well, not with the unpiloted debuff, so both of them now operate at half speed, which, you know, fine. We can always re-get them, so I'm not too worried about losing them. So, let's do this here. Let us give Sunslag over to our companions, so everybody gets plus 10 quickness. I actually don't know if the golems can drink that too. Drink with K, that's a bit of an awkward. Oops. I, K. I, click K. I, click. So yeah. Having 10% extra actions sounds like a lot better than just 1 or 2%, so it absolutely feels like this is worthwhile for me to invest time and effort into, because, well, can all just be over in short order. I forgot to trade over the canteen before. Actually, it didn't matter really. Refresh my cooldown, and random, which the only thing that was on cooldown was Dominate Mind, and now you get to drink Sunslag as well. I have absolutely no idea what happens if you drink too many of these. I have not tried. But I think I didn't read anything negative on the wiki when I looked up that stuff at some point, so it's probably fine, right? Anyways. Boo-boo. We could drink the brain... What happens if you drink the brain brine with the golems? Can they just randomly get a ton of skill points, so we could give them multi-weapon mastery? Because daggers kind of excel when they get to attack multiple times. Maybe this is what we use the brain brine for. We just like the golems drink the brain brine. Honestly, that kind of sounds like it could be fun. Now I'm just hoping that I'm not gonna be drinking the brain brine with me. Okay, so that's all the quickness done here. I love how they just go, ooh, I believe these are like the regular dialogue of Snapjaws. Let's just see what happens if I do this, because I am very curious. You know what? You have a chance to die when you cook with the neutron flux. Like, yeah, 10% chance to die. But if we can just reshape the golem, it might not even matter. That could be fascinating. Anyways, we're gonna... Oh, by the way, we can have followers enter golems as well. So you could literally have two Snapjaws piloting a Snapjaw golem, probably. Or at least, kind of. Actually, I do wonder whether... Hold up. Can I direct follow to enter? Okay, you cannot direct another golem to enter the golem. I was curious about that. What if I tell you... Well, actually, Bardot, you're the guinea pig. Direct follower to enter... Where is it? Direct follower to enter the Snapshot golem here. Bardo. Okay. Are you piloting it now? No, he's not piloting it now. He is still being unpiloted. The dude is also just standing still. Come over. I was really hoping that he would be effectively piloting that thing afterwards, but apparently that's not how it works. Enter... I believe I have... Oh, he's on the passenger seat. Yeah, he's just chilling here, I guess. Okay, come back over. I direct him to come along, and that's how you get them back out of the golems there. Anyways. Let's enter this one. The little bit of a broken one. We're gonna sit in this pilot seat. Let's see. Drink the drain brine. Okay, so you can drink the Sunslag with the golem too. And I mean, again, I guess not much of a reason not to. I do wonder whether they remember all of these stat changes when they get reshaped after they die. I assume so, like, I guess it makes sense that it just reshapes the same creature rather than the basic one. Wait, is that all? That's all. Okay, also, let's see, we have night vision, space-time vortex, heightened smell, and psychic glimmer. Oh, that's interesting. This only has 26 psychic glimmer. So I guess technically I'm no longer being hunted by extra dimensionals if I'm controlling the golem. Oh, that's very interesting. I have +6 ego. I wonder if... Are my companions still emboldened? No, actually. If I'm inside the golem, I am the golem, so this one does not have the embolden ability, so my companions are lacking a lot of HP because of it. Anyways, let's drink the brain brine, see what happens. You are being watched. It's a familiar feeling when someone has watched you in the past, when it's light that's betrayed your presence. You made a friend of the darkness. You pulled your prime low over your eyes, you step behind the cover of a thatched wall. But those who watch you now, in spite of such simple obstructions. Oh, those who watch you now, watch you in spite of such simple obstructions. Okay. Your mind starts to swim. So we're just waiting until this is over. Right. Gain the active ability time dilation. Gain the mutation time dilation. Ego decreased by 1. You have time dilation? No. That's really good, actually. Well, it's really good if I'm controlling it. But not that great if it's my companion, because it's going to activate it and we're going to be slowed around it. Because time dilation basically increases your speed and decreases the speed of all surrounding creatures by Well, the closer you are to the person using time dilation, the more your speed is slowed. And because we are a party entering a screen at the same time, if our golem uses time dilation, it's just gonna give the enemies a huge advantage. That would be pretty bad. Anyways, I guess we're losing ego points here, which is a bit unfortunate, but I think that's okay. Mine starts to swim. And I guess I'm just waiting. Individual turns. We're getting the ability Force Bubble. That's actually pretty good. I think you can get just generally like random mutations. And this guy here definitely seems to like his mental mutations despite reducing his ego. Don't pour it, drink it. Just wait a bunch. Willpower increased by 3. Okay, that's very interesting. Drink more. This time we get willpower increased by 2. That's really good mental armor, honestly. Drink it again. Location of legendary glow pad. Okay. Oh wow, that's a lot of locations. Snapshot Fort, ruins, natural features. Okay. Drink. Just making the golem drink everything. Poor guy. Active ability teleport. With less mutation, or, well, ego. But hey, we found a use for the brain brine, so I'm fine with this. Okay, that's quite fun. So we're going to exit the pilot seat. Leave here. Ignore the air burning behind us. That's just the jetpack that we don't have. It's not a jetpack. Then we grab the Sunslag from here. I guess I don't actually need to manually transfer over because I could just trade while sitting in the golem. That's perfectly okay. But yeah. I was kind of hoping to get skill points for the golems, but, well, everything is RNG in this game. Let's enter this one. This one looks pretty normal. That's fantastic. Then we drink Sunslag. I click K. Click I K. Click I K. Drink. I think there's gonna be 3 left over at the end. You know what? I'm just curious what happens if we drink one more. We're at 9. 10. Let's see, what happens if you just drink one more? Brightness burns your mouth, but you cannot be roused any higher. Okay, so you just lose the Sunslag, which is kind of what I expected. Anyways, I didn't mean to click eject, but now you see what happens. You just get put to a random place. Then there's a pilot seat. It's 100 pounds worth of a pilot seat. And which one of you had the things? Were you? Gonna enter this one. I'm carrying too much to move, so we need to put down the pilot seat. And yes, I believe you have to specifically have a pilot seat in order to do that. What I actually encountered is I found a Putus Templar mech in my previous playthrough. And a pilot ejected from there and left a pilot seat behind. So I put a second pilot seat into my golem at the time. Get it? Overburdened. Drop it. And effectively, I don't know if it was necessary, but let's put it this way. When climbing the spindle, I decided to try and sneak in another companion on board, and it worked. I don't know if it was required for me to have another pilot seat in order to do that, but it definitely felt pretty clever that this is how I ended up doing that. Anyways, we now have 2 golems, slow because they're unpiloted. Everybody is a bit quicker, everybody is a bit more powerful, and now, I want to say I'm ready to try and dive into the underbelly of various places, but I'm not sure I will be ready, but am I ever going to be ready without trying things, is the big question. I have one place I want to go first. Actually, before that, let me real quick. Village of Honeypire entangle text, so we entangle these. We also learned about the location of Honeypire, which we didn't know. Urchins, better reputation, up to 50. Newly sentient beings are now favoring us. Here admired by the mechanimists, even more so than before. Then we get fish reputation, dog reputation. We are not loved by dogs even. Daughters of Exile are now favoring us. And crabs now don't hate us quite as much anymore. It's actually just one more to get back to neutral. I have 2 unspecified chapters if I decide to do that. And crabs actually sounds like it could be useful for a particular reason. Anyways, one thing I almost forgot to do. Use abilities. No, not you. You got a bunch more mutations. Don't use time dilation. You're gonna use it against us, which is not ideal. I'm also not gonna allow you to use force battle. Because, sure, it's great for you, but you're just gonna push us around whenever you move while having the force bubble around you. Okay, let's briefly head over to the grid gate. Replace the cell, solar power cell, activate. Because I would like to make some more programmable recoilers. So we're gonna dominate U again. Equipment, tinkering. Let's see. Switch to build things, tools, programmable recoilers. There you go. 1, 2, 3 for the future. So we basically can teleport back to wherever we happen to be whenever we want to. Programmable recoilers, thank you very much. And last but not least, we head over to the Stilt Grounds. But not to actually chop anything here. This is our jump-off point, because if you have ever looked at the map of Caves of Cut, there's various structures that are always just kind of visible on the overworld. And one of these places is this thing here, the Asphalt Mines. In the previous playthrough, not actually the last one, but before that, I decided to just see what these Asphalt Mines are about and descended deeper and deeper and deeper. And oh boy, I was not prepared for what was down there, but I survived nonetheless, so I had a story to tell. But I'm curious, I never reached the bottom of these mines. I don't even know if there is a bottom or what that even means. But next time, in Caves of Cut, we're gonna go down into the asphalt mines, and we hope that we don't get stuck in the dang asphalt all over the place, because oh my god, it's gonna be annoying. Because everything is just gonna be tarry and sludgy, and it's just not gonna be able to move easily. And I have no idea why there's these random goods everywhere. I mean, that's just what they are, they're just random goods. Anyways. There's a bunch of snapshots around here, they're fighting the gush, that's okay. And there's a staircase down over here, this is all I'm looking for. Oh, do I have spin webs? I do, so I actually cannot get stuck. My allies can get stuck. But me and Bardo, we are just immune to getting stuck in the asphalt mines, which honestly will make this probably a lot nicer than it otherwise would. However, what I will also be doing... What the heck did you attack there? He didn't even see. Oh, they're just attacking crabs. What I will be doing is I will be waiting until you guys clear out all the rabble down here. I will probably only go down there with like 1 or 2 companions, or maybe even just go down there myself. Because there's stuff down there where AI control cactus slipping into goop would be very bad. Anyways, next time, we're gonna explore the asphalt mines and see what's down there. For all I know, there could just be nothing down there. I don't know, but this is the first place I'm going to be exploring that may or may not be an endgame area and I've never done before. So, that's that for now. Thank you so much for watching, thank you so much for listening and for lurking, and hopefully until next time, take care and have a good night. Bye bye.